What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Clevon, how you doing today?
Doing all right, Playboy. How you doing?
I'm good, man. We got a little background music for your birthday. This birthday week, we're gonna celebrate for you,
Thank
um,
you.
and we're gonna get right into this, man. You've been waiting long enough, fans. You've been waiting and debating for oh so long. We're gonna give you another week of the Voice of the Fans podcast. It's October 27th, week 162. Each and every day. Let me back up. I want to give a shout out to the guys at HNB Media for producing the show and doing what they do. HNB Media, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. They got a wealth of NBA content since NBA is just starting. Just spent about 6 hours on the show with them last week, preparing you guys for the NBA. And we're gonna do a little NBA content right here after we talked about the football, and then that'll be after we talk about these numbers. Today, October 27, 2021, week 162, as I stated, and the number 27, Clevon. You hear the number 27. Who wore that number best, or who first come to your mind?
Person that first comes to mind is a cat from Florida State, a defensive back named Terrell Buckley. Probably never heard of him. He was the Deion Sanders heir apparent back in the day, number 5 pick of the Green Bay Packers. That's the first person that comes to mind. Who wears it best? It's hard to say, man. I'm kind of leaning towards Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Terrell Buckley. I never heard of him. What position did he play?
Cornerback.
Man,
It's filthy.
in college. He had the most exciting interception return for a touchdown. He had it. He had more exciting than anybody. I think he had most enticing interception return for a touchdown than anybody who did it in college football. Now it didn't work that way as a pros, but I think he was just he had highlights upon highlights upon highlights. So he was up there, but there was a couple guys that I'm surprised you didn't go Vlad Red. Mike Trout was available. Um, Johnny Johnson was one of the first guys that come to my mind. Larry Johnson was another guy that came into my mind, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
wow, Larry Johnson. Ooh, okay.
I'm not sure that either one of those guys. Johnny Johnson, the first point forward, first guy to dub point forward in the NBA. Was his career better than Eddie George? Johnny Johnson won a ring.
No.
He won a ring with the 79 Sonics?
No.
No? What did Eddie George do? He made it to the conference finals.
Oh, Eddie George. I think said okay.
Who do you think I said?
No. Eddie.
Who do you think I said?
I think he said Eddie Jones. I was like, I don't remember Eddie Jones.
No, Johnny. Do you know who Johnny Johnson is?
I do know who Johnny Johnson is, and no, he did not wear the number better than Eddie George. Skeletor. Now, of course, Cam, we've talked on this show on numerous occasions. I'm not a big fan of his running style, just running straight as far as you can go. It's not
standing straight up.
It's not shifty, or you're not making
he was just big. He was big. He was 6'3", 240 pounds before.
But certainly Skeletor is a better number 27 than John Johnson, even with the championship. So sorry.
Okay. All right. Eddie George, Larry Johnson though. Larry Johnson just couldn't get. Can't get right. He was our version that just can't get right. Whatever he did, it wasn't right. He just couldn't get it right. But he was a wealth of talent. Number 62, man. This is Slim Pickens here. Number 62, Chris Gray, longtime Seahawk, and I think that's about as far as we can go.
So that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got there. All right, Clevon. I haven't said anything for the last couple of weeks. I initially approached this topic a full calendar year ago. It was like week 6 when I initially brought it up, and you thought I was you didn't want to listen to me then. You thought that my idea was preposterous. And all of a sudden, over the last 2 weeks, everybody's talking about the deal getting done, and Watson ended up in the 305. What's your thoughts about this? And
Not going to happen.
Am I still preposterous for having this thought?
You're still preposterous for having that thought because it's not going to happen. And Tua had such a spectacular game his last outing that's not going
what the L, the L, the L we took.
I think it threw for almost 400 yards, Cam. 3 touchdowns.
We've lost our last 6 games.
Get off Tua.
We lost the last 6 games. Did you hear me?
Tua's only played 2 of those games.
No, he's played 3 of those games. He was out for 2
2
weeks.
of those games.
He was out for 3 weeks. He was out for 2 weeks.
Okay, well, if you say so, 3 of those games. But, I mean, so that's only half.
Look, so you and everybody like you, when Drew Brees was at Purdue and he threw 3 interceptions in the first half and the team was down 31-3, yet he found a way to come back and win the game 38-35. Like, you don't get credit for getting into the deficit and coming back and win the game. You get no that. You don't get any credit for me anyway for coming back to win that game. Or your team is driving. It's a tie ball game late in the fourth quarter. You throw an interception. Okay, they go up. You throw a pick 6. They go up, and then you come back, throw a touchdown pass, and then drive and kick a field goal, and you win that game. That's like you put yourself in that deficit. So, Tua, you want to bring up four touchdown passes, almost 400 yards passing. He had 2 picks that he gives to the defense and puts.
They weren't pick
allow
sixes.
Them to score.
They weren't pick 6s, Cam.
No. Okay, and his touchdown passes were what, 10 yards, 6 yards, and 3 yards?
They were touchdown passes.
Oh my goodness gracious. You know what?
Yes, they were.
You know what?
Jalen Waddle was the recipient on a few of those, so kudos to him. I mean, he's not. We get into the Jamar Chase conversation later, but
I mean, if you want to talk about it, you see what a quarterback does when he has.
Not right now, Cam. Not right now.
You see what a quarterback does. You see what a quarterback does. You see
you're too heated right now.
You see what happens when you have a quarterback who actually achieves something.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man. Clevon, don't give me that. Don't come with that crap. Okay, you can't put your team in a deficit and then get credit because you pull them out of the deficit. You don't get any credit for that. But I want to know the reason that this deal is on the table and there's a possible and Stephen Ross says, let's go get that guy, is because he makes everybody better. Sure, we don't have a great offensive line. Sure, we have mediocre talent in the backfield. Sure, we have mediocre talent on the receiver line.
Cam.
Yes.
Cam. Nobody knows if that dude is going to jail or not. So if you trade for someone, you're not sure if they're going to jail or not.
Look, we're talking.
You're ruining your franchise. And you already have a quarterback that can throw for 350, 400, and 4 touchdowns.
It can't be. Our franchise can't get any.
And he's got his friend Jalen Waddle from back in the day, from the Tuscaloosa days, man. Come on now.
Steven,
Seahawks working out there in Cincinnati with Burrow and Chase. I mean, they're just telling old stories, man, just reminiscing.
Yeah, here you go. You're trying to
Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They're just when they reminisce over you. My God.
Now
remember when we killed it at LSU? Let's do that in Cincinnati. All right, dude. All right, dog. Let's do it.
Now you're trying to compare. Now you are trying to compare Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle. That's what you're trying to do.
Y'all could have had Jamar Chase. Decided it wasn't your time.
They could have had Kyle Pitts. They could have had Kyle Pitts too.
Oh man, Kyle Pitts is not all bad, but that's a topic for another time.
Kyle Pitts probably made the Pro Bowl on yesterday's game against the Dolphins. He probably made the Pro Bowl, 4 catches, 185.
Not making the Pro Bowl, but that's fine.
Over the shoulder catch against a defender.
That's
Come
cool.
on.
There's plenty of quality tight ends in the NFC, so he's not going to make the Pro Bowl. That's
Who?
fine.
Name one. Name one.
Excuse me?
Name one. Name one. Name a better tight end right now in the NFC.
Put me on the spot a little bit, Cam. Let me get back to you on that.
I'm just saying. What? You going to say Tunjin from Green Bay? No. You're
I
going to
was
say
just saying. I
you're going to
just said
say
you put me on the
Kittles.
spot. Let me get back to
You
you
going to
on
say
that. That's all
Kittles
I
from
said.
San
That's
Francisco?
all I said.
No.
Hey man, look.
Who?
Cal
What
Pitts
other?
is cool. He's starting to come on a little bit, a tad bit,
What
but
other tight end is
that's
doing
all
it?
it is.
Yeah. There you go, right there.
Mm-hmm. But I still bet he don't make the Pro Bowl.
He made the Pro Bowl just against the Dolphins. What he did against the Dolphins last week. 4 catches for 185.
We'll see.
Come on.
We'll see.
What's up with the? So you're really convinced the deal doesn't get done? Deshaun Watson doesn't end up in Florida. You
cannot trade for someone you don't know if they will even be eligible to play, man.
He's not going to jail. The NFL says, look. The NFL, you see how they swept under that shit, under the rug with Dan Snyder?
Yes.
Swept right under the rug.
Yes.
Don't even look this way. Hey, look over here, guys. Look over here. And meanwhile,
we're not giving you anything. Don't ask.
Roger,
don't ask someone
that's already been handled.
Yeah, none of that.
He's already been punished 3 years ago. Remember, we gave him an extra
we
fine.
hit him really, really hard. $10 million. He hadn't been involved. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're not going to be able to go back and get Deshaun Watson after they just swept this whole investigation, 7-man investigation, what they had going on in Washington.
No. Those were emails that were intended to understand the culture of that particular organization. This other thing you're talking about is criminal.
No, it's not. And this is a
it's not criminal.
This is what's been misleading.
Cam, do you remember we had a show a little bit earlier this year, and you said, "Man, you were embarrassed. It made your skin curdle the way you heard what was going on."
It's eerie. It's icky. That doesn't mean criminal. Trevor Bauer situation, like there was no beating, there was no physical violence. Nobody went to the hospital. It was
if you're about to trade, because I'm watching the Seahawks right now trading first round picks, right?
Well,
and how it comes back to haunt you. You're not going to trade 2 first round picks and a second round pick for somebody you're not even sure is going to be eligible to play ever again.
If we trade for him, if he comes on the team tomorrow, we can start him on Sunday.
You're scared of what people will come out and say, or some of the footage that they actually have. You're scared.
No,
if you're not scared, you're a fool. My God, look how
Stephen Ross.
I'm not even gonna get all angry about this, man.
Stephen Ross.
Look, man, there are like multiple people that are talking about this and what he did to them, man. When you start to get to the 18 to 20 range, I'm not going to trade you 2 first-round picks for that.
This is the misleading part, Clevon.
What's misleading?
He didn't rape anybody.
Enlighten me.
He didn't rape anybody. It wasn't. He didn't come in and jack off on somebody's porch, looking through the window. He asked for some freaky stuff to be done.
How you know?
I mean, according to what one of the masseuse already said.
According to the information that you have in front of you.
She was aghast that he made this guy would make this type of request. And she was aghast. Like really, dude? Like really? Like
once you get over 15 accusers, man, it's like wow. I would really like for that to play itself out before I trade multiple first-round picks.
Look, Uncle Luke got something special for him when he gets down to the 305.
Yeah, once he gets past all of this,
Uncle Luke
yes.
has a place for him to go where he can get all his freaky stuff out of his system and then show up on Sunday.
He gets past all this.
Roger Goodell said, "Don't do that again." That's what Roger Goodell. Don't do that again.
So then, Cam, why hasn't he been eligible to play for the Houston Texans all year?
The Texans haven't played him. He's not ineligible to play. The Texans has not played him.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if the Miami Dolphins traded for him, he'd be eligible like right away?
He's eligible. He's not ineligible to play. This is the whole
So if the Miami Dolphins traded for him now,
if they acquired him tomorrow, he could conceivably start on Sunday. Yes.
Well, they don't need to do that because they have Tua Tagovailoa, so that's not really going to happen. But I just wanted to get clarification on how that works.
You know what? I'm not mentioning Tua for the next 8 weeks.
That's up to you because he's going to win big games.
I'm not going to mention Tua for the next
when
8
weeks.
But let me tell you,
we're not going to talk about him.
No, we're not going to talk about it. Let me tell you this: we're done talking about Tua.
Why are we blackballing Tua Tagovailoa like that?
Tua is not a game.
He's got Jalen Waddle to throw to. He's got Myles Gaskin running out of the backfield.
Okay, you keep bringing up
if Xavier Howard doesn't get traded, I mean, we'll see what happens.
You keep bringing up Jalen Waddle.
I mean, it's only 1-6, man. Dig yourself out.
There was a text that when somebody said you can't go 11-6 without the 6 losses. Somebody text that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you keep bringing up Jalen Waddle. You were, if I remember correctly, when they drafted him, you were a little pissed. You was a little miffed that they drafted him. Clevon, what? And you saw him play in college. You don't like a lot of Alabama players, but what was his yards per catch average in college?
Cam, it wasn't all about that. It was about the swag that he came in with, and I just knew that Miami Dolphins organization didn't deserve that, and what he was going to bring to the table if they were able to unleash that from him was going to be extraordinary.
Help the people know what his average yards per catch was in college.
It was high. It was high.
It was high. Was it close to 20 yards a catch?
Man, I'm not. You don't stat me to death, Cam, just because you're upset with your Dolphins, man.
I'm just trying to ask you.
Why are you trying to stat me about college stats, man? Come on.
I'm just asking a question, man. I'm just trying to.
Okay, well, move along then, man.
Okay.
Why you asking that question?
Because it was 18 yards a catch. Okay, Clevon.
Great.
And he's at 8 yards this season.
Well, hey, man. Well, let's get it together over there in the 305.
Where's your boy Steven? I ain't heard from. Have you heard from Steven all season?
I hear from him all the time. I hear from him every day.
You hear from all
close conversations.
Yeah. So what Steven tell you about Brian Flores? What did he tell you about him?
Man, he believes in the system. He believes in the Patriot way.
Yeah, you guys are ridiculous.
Under the greatest head coach in the history of the NFL. So, just give him some time.
No more Tua talk. I'm close. The Dolphins lose this week. They're getting banned from the show too. The Dolphins lose this week. They're going to get banned.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. You say the Kyle Pitts didn't make the Pro Bowl this week. I think he already made the Pro Bowl. What's up with the Chiefs? Are the Titans that good, or is it the Chiefs? What's the deal?
Yeah, I like the way the Titans handled that game. The offense not as explosive on the Kansas City side, and they had enough film. You know how I always talk about film, Cam. They had enough film to know what to do, and they just did it. And the way that Patrick Mahomes responded was just kind of like hope and a prayer.
Are we concerned with the Chiefs now? I mean,
you're absolutely concerned with the Chiefs.
Two-time AFC champions. They're at what 3-5? I think their record is now. Are they 5 losses?
Not 5 losses, but yeah, no, you're concerned. Yeah, you're 100% concerned.
They're 3-3. Play the Giants on Monday Night Football. Um, I mean, is this? What do we say? Which direction do we go? Do we go Eddie? Do we go Andy Reid has been there too long? Do we go Patrick Mahomes is just a careless and reckless player and is finally catching up
No,
to him?
Cam, we go. You don't. You hear me, but you don't hear me, man. Once you have enough tape on someone, they can figure out how to limit your success, man.
You
And they
calling
have
this?
figured it out.
You calling this all tape? Is that what you're doing?
If you have the personnel to do it, if you have the personnel to handle time of possession and just run the ball and just kill the clock and then score a lot and then put the Kansas City Chiefs in, bad situations and, Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball around the field. Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised that we're going there. That surprised me that we're calling it. I'm surprised that we're going there. Okay, so there's no recovery for the Kansas City Chiefs. What do we think about? Are the Cardinals for real?
Cardinals are for real.
They got Green Bay this week. This is going to be a good game. But is
It's
that
not
that?
going to be a good game. They're going to beat Green Bay up real bad.
Oh boy. Uh oh. What convinced you? Is it that little arm? Is that little shoulder all the way healed? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was the COVID on the other side of the ball.
Oh, but it's only one player.
I think it's Devontae and
Adams.
Scantling. Yeah, no, yeah. COVID's running rampant up there in Lambeau.
So you don't think Aaron Rodgers can make some other receivers look good?
Certainly for a certain period of time, but not enough to keep up with Kyler and those guys.
So that little arm. So you're impressed by that little arm now, huh?
No, not really. I know his shoulder's going to get hurt up. His little shoulder's going to get hurt up.
His little shoulder. Okay. Well, we'll see how that fakes out. Chris Carson. Has there been a Chris Carson sighting since week 3? Have we seen him? Have we heard from him?
Not ready to talk about Chris Carson this yet.
Why not? I mean,
It's too soon.
it's too soon. It's week 8. We're going into week 8. Oh, look at this. He don't want to talk about it. Okay, I'm just asking questions. We made some decisions earlier in the year, and I just want to kind of revisit some of these topics. That's all I'm trying to do. And all of a sudden, you don't want to talk about them, huh? Okay, okay. That's pretty peculiar. How all of a sudden you got you don't want to talk about Mr. Chris Carson. And well, do we know where he's at? I mean, is he at Dick's?
I don't know where he's at.
Did you see him at Broadway?
I don't know where he's at. Man, when I see him on the field, then that's when I see him when I see him.
I'll see him when I see him. Huh? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, man, because I know there's a new Dick's out in what's that, Burien?
Yeah,
is that
Kent.
Burien? Kent Burien? I mean, you ain't seen him over there?
He might be out there. I don't know.
Is he Twin Peaks in South Center?
I know where he's not, Cam, and that's on the football field. So.
Oh well, what's new? What's new about that guy? Oh my goodness! So I don't really have room to laugh at this team here. In fact, I admire what the coach did on Sunday. They scored come right down and scored a touchdown, onside kick immediately. Next time they get the ball, they're going for it on 4th down twice in a game. They threw everything they had at the Los Angeles Rams. The team really tried to rally around Jared Goff, and get him a touchdown against his former team in the old stadium. I mean, some could say that's the stadium he built. He built that stadium because he took him to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, a couple years prior. The Lions, man. What do you think about the performance the Lions showed on Sunday? And are they any closer to getting that first win?
Lions are a tough team, man. For two reasons, Cam. They're a tough team because you got to beat them. You got to stick the stake in their heart and make sure they're not breathing in the flat line, man. Otherwise, they are still playing. They have lost some games in such dramatic fashion that I don't know if they're emotionally capable of continuing to just give their all, man.
That's kind of the question. They're like,
isn't it?
What the way you get beat like three weekends in a row, like,
and it is just like, oh my god, like really?
I mean, the coach was crying 3 weeks ago. They come back and lose another heartbreaker the next week. Then they put everything into this game. Like, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with next week, if they can do anything, or is it just a complete waxing? Like, but I will tell you, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave this alone. DeAndre Swift was available to a certain team at the end of the first round, and they drafted a guy who can't even see the field. As bad as this team is doing, he can't even see the field.
Well, I mean, hey man, stay healthy and we'll see what happens. But again, when you lose, when somebody comes out and kicks a 66-yard field goal off the goalpost, man, and those type of losses, man, they start to wear on you. You know what I'm saying? Just how many different ways can I lose a football game? When you go in and you get the 2-point conversion, and then Minnesota just comes down, and the dude that missed the field goal last week, all of a sudden he just can't miss today.
Yeah, he come back and kick a game winner.
Like, from longer than he missed. It's like, wow. Yeah, those type of losses, they can wear on you, man. And it's hard to keep everybody upbeat and on the same page, and this is what we're gonna do, and it just starts to sound like noise after a while, right?
Yeah, that's what you would think, man. So the Bengals rout the Ravens behind your guy, Jamar Chase. Who's the quarterback over there? Who's the quarterback throwing to Jamar Chase?
JB. Joe Burrow.
Does he look like he's worth a first-round pick or two?
Sure.
Just wondering.
No, I mean, like a number one pick for sure. Yeah. He did miss like 8 games last year with an ACL injury.
Come on. Shit happens on the field, but he looks like he's worth a couple number ones to me. If I was in control of a team who could have threw a couple number ones his way, but yeah.
I don't know if he's that much better than Tua Tagovailoa right now. I mean, we'll see.
You got one more week to get that out your system.
So how many more playoff appearances does Joe Burrow have than Tua Tagovailoa right now?
Oh, see how you do. You already said it. You already said JB was hurt
0. He has no more playoff appearances than Tua Tagovailoa. I think that's what you were trying to say. And no more playoff appearances either. So.
And what does that say? Are you saying because he doesn't have any more playoff appearances, he's not better?
At current, they're even, right? I mean, Cincinnati has a better record right now.
No. At current, they're even. Absolutely not. One team just beat the hottest team in NFL, and one team lost to one of the worst teams in NFL. What's even about that?
I mean, Tua had a great game, Cam. I mean, you're detracting from what Tua was able to do out there.
Is it a team game or is it one person? This ain't hoops. Where one, like as you say, one.
Oh, this ain't hoops. I like the way you said.
Would you like to say one man? And you're that
right
dude.
There. We can leave it right there. This ain't hoops. Where that dude can just do it. That what you were trying to say, Cam? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
no, we're right there, man. I don't need no more, man. I don't need no more but that statement right there. This ain't hoops. Well, you can just take over a game, huh, Cam?
So you stop. So yeah, you stop bringing the dude up like he's that guy. If he was that
Nah,
guy,
we're
they wouldn't
good.
be
Nah,
losing that.
Cam, we're good. Let's move on to the next subject, man. We've exhausted this one. You already said this ain't hoop.
So the Vegas Las Vegas Raiders 2-0 post Gruden. What's that say to you?
Don't know what to make of it, Cam. I mean, like, that's kind of weird, right? You lose your head coach and someone steps in and they don't miss a beat. Perhaps they're even better than they were before the coach got fired. So I'm at a loss. I wish I could tell you like how I feel about that and like are they rallying, around
I'm gonna tell you.
themselves
I'm gonna
or
tell you what
just
that means to me. Jared or Derek Carr is better than we give him credit for. I think that's what that says. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than we give him credit for. We all thought Gruden was going to run him out of town in 1 or 2 years. He stuck around stuck around longer than Gruden actually, and then he galvanized his team. He brings them together, and he's showing that hey, we can still get it done regardless of the coach. We still got our offensive coach. Those offensive game plan doesn't change. We still got our defensive coach. Those defensive game plan. I think you're familiar with the defensive coordinator. You know that guy's name? Yeah, have you seen him a time or two on the sideline?
time or two.
Yeah,
Perhaps some of the glory days even.
yeah. So they've kind of the same plan kind of maintains, but they just don't have the figurehead, the Chucky doll there to grab everybody's attention and garner everybody's attention. Now these guys just go out and do their thing. That's what it tells me. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than everybody give him credit for. They had talent, and they're just executing. They're executing right now. So
And
they
then
go.
perhaps it's the talent that ultimately prevails, not the coaching so much.
Yeah.
At
So
$10 million a season for the best coach money can buy,
is that
highest
what
paid coach in the
is
NFL in NFL history.
is that what's happening in Pittsburgh? Like
Excuse me?
is that what's happening in Pittsburgh? The coach ain't don't matter up there, dragging them bag of bumps to 8 wins last
I
season.
mean, the coach can do as much as he can do. However, I think that we're seeing, as I have said on numerous episodes of Voice of the Fans, football players age in dog years, and we're seeing Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger age a little bit faster than we were anticipating, and it's like, ooh, yeah, he's not that guy anymore.
Speaking of Pittsburgh and that head coach, he has some very strong words for the for the media around the country yesterday when they asked him if he was going to coach USC. What's your thoughts on his response?
I love it, man. That's not what he does. He is the head coach of one of the most storied NFL franchises in the history of NFL football. Why would I be looking at the University of Southern California to coach a bunch of kids? I know what I'm doing. I'm the third longest tenured coach in the history of this franchise. The other two have 5 Super Bowls between them, and I got one myself. So this is where I feel comfortable. This is what I want to do. Why would I take a step down? Ever since Pete Carroll had such success there, everyone thinks that, oh, that's a stepping stone to step back and then step back to the NFL. But it's like, no, I'm
But
already
no,
here and established, and this is my organization that I'm coaching. And until someone tells me different, why would I want to go to the University of Southern California?
I like what
It's
he
a
said.
preposterous question, and it's
Yeah,
insulting to the resume of Mike Tomlin, to be perfectly honest with you.
did you hear anybody ask? Are they asking Andy Reid this question? Are they asking Sean
Yeah,
Payton?
it's
Are
it's
they
it's
asking Sean
it's
Payton this question? That was cool. That was okay. Now, I mean business. I did. I have to give applaud. I have to applaud him for that response there. That was an absolute dude. What are you guys talking about, man? Look, I'm not addressing this again. Okay, that means
Why
that
is this a
means
serious question? Why are you asking me this question?
that means not tomorrow. That means not tomorrow, and for the rest of the season. Okay, never say never, but never. Come on, I really dug that response from Mike Tomlin. The only thing I think he got wrong is says when he said it's not there's no booster who could write a check big enough. That's the only thing. I'm like, I thought, Mike, Mike, you making 8, buddy. If they pay somebody can pay you 16 for the next 3 years, and you got a decision to make, buddy. You got a decision to make. One of
Game
those.
changer, but I think that shows what the Steeler way is all about, right? That culture that Troy Polamalu spoke so eloquently about during his Hall of Fame speech. Mike Tomlin, exudes that.
Yeah, yeah. So kudos to him. I love that response. And the Seahawks took one on the chin when they on Sunday, or excuse me, Monday night. I mean, what is Geno Smith? Is he going to be there next season? In fact,
Next season, we have no idea. We don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be there next season.
well, we know. We already know. We already know. We know. I've been telling you this. This is another thing I've been telling you for over a season now, over a calendar year. Sierra wants out. It's just where they end up. Russell could end up in Pittsburgh. Clearly there's going to be an opening there. How would he look in Pittsburgh? Or you know what? How would Russell look in the aqua and orange? How would Russell look down there in the aqua and orange and the nice humidity down there?
Uncomfortable and awkward, but at the same time, that's fun.
Uncomfortable for who?
For himself, it just wouldn't feel comfortable.
Uncomfortable for who?
Uncomfortable and awkward for himself.
Yeah. Okay. So that was last week, and you want to tell us about tell us your thoughts on the Manning telecast. You finally got a chance to watch it. You tuned in for Marshawn Lynch and his escapades, and Tom Brady and their shenanigans. What's your thoughts on the Eli and Peyton Manning telecast?
So just to bring the fans up to speed, Cam has been pumping the Eli Peyton broadcast for quite some time.
From week one, when they first aired.
I've seen a few of them. They're cool. And it seems a lot to be about kind of just the ha-ha, kind of back and forth between, the NFL royalty, Manning NFL royalty.
Right.
So it kind of goes back and forth, and nothing they say or do can really, be refuted. Watched it a couple of times. It's cool.
Oh, you're downplaying.
You're getting my time now here, Cam.
You're downplaying.
The first thing that I came across, and I told Cam about this, is that's cool because they're not really following the game. They're just kind of talking. They're just kind of talking during the game, kind of like if you and me were just kind of just what's up during the game. Except for their football royalty, 4 Super Bowls between the two of them. So, when they talk, it's more credible. However, to Cam's credit, I did watch the broadcast on Monday. And the thing that I was the most impressed about was not the play-by-play, was not the breaking down of film, was not all of the other ancillary things. It was the respect that Peyton Eli get from other players retired players or even current players, in the case of Tom Brady, throughout the league. And I saw the way that those players relaxed around them and were more forthcoming than they typically would be. And it was not just one particular demographic, it was a pretty wide range. If you go from Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, from the Yay, taking shots at him and cussing, to TB12, and they both feel as comfortable with the Manning brothers, from those two different demographics. That was kind of an interesting thing to see. And there are certain occasions, Cam, when I would prefer a little bit more like, analysis of what's going on, and this is this play, and they break down the play, as opposed to just like, Marshawn, remember that time you was rocking the golf cart around Cal? Tell us about that,
But they have to.
We went golfing and you split your pants. Tell me about that. I mean,
yeah,
there's a little give and take with it, right? But because the players are so forthcoming and open with them, I just thought that was a very strange dynamic, given how far they had stretched the demographic from Marshawn Beastmo from the Yay all the way to TB12, and they both felt the same about those guys. I thought that was very interesting. Is it a better broadcast? It's certainly more entertaining and colorful. Is it better? Depends on what you want from a broadcast, right?
It depends on what you want from the broadcast, but they're not going to give you they're not giving you the breakdown of every play, the X and the O's,
right? Because they don't have a person that does that, and then a color commentator that does that. They're just telling stories about being NFL royalty, 4 Super Bowls between the two of them, et cetera, et cetera. And the people that they interview are way more open and honest than they would be with anyone else.
So they tried in the first showing. It's improved over the weeks. They tried in the first showing.
But they overdid it in the first show. So it was a bunch of like rewind.
Manning went to the board and he was trying to diagram plays.
Yeah.
But by the time he got a playoff,
but that's not what I'm saying, Kim. I'm just saying if you're in mid-story and something breaks out and you're still in the same story and like 2 and 3 plays break out, it's like it's not the game anymore. It's your story.
But I think
you have to want that part of it.
And who doesn't want that? Is kind of what I'm saying.
Some people want to just watch the game. They don't want to hear about all those other things.
You don't get that from anywhere else. That has to be. I should do a poll. More people would rather have to want to hear the stories from the football royalty. Hell, it could be Greasy and his dad and his brother talking about what's going on in the NFL. That would have, I think, probably not the same impact, but a similar impact because they understand football. They know the story. They got as many stories. Or the Watts brothers, for example, they know the game. They got as many stories that they could tell. So those would be just as intriguing. It just happened to be that the Golden family, what is it? What do you always call them? The first family of the NFL?
First family of the NFL, yeah.
They have – people are going to tune in because it's them. And then once you tune in, you look like, oh, wow, they actually do have some – there's some comedy.
It's not the tuning in because it's them part that I was impressed about. It was the tuning in,
So you heard him talk to Marshawn about taking, and then Marshawn caught him off balance when he says, I took 3 shots today. Through one for Big Bro, one for Little Bro, and then one for myself. I took 3 shots of him. And then Eli tried to get Eli to say, go take a shot of him. And it just doesn't ring the same way when Eli says, I took 2. I took one for Big Bro and I took one for you. It doesn't ring the same. And that's straight comedy though, when he comes in a different fashion. They're not talking about the game. The game is clearly secondary, or what is it? What would be
No, that's a
tridary?
perfect illustration of what you're trying to say.
Well,
The game becomes secondary, and
it
all of the
does.
things that come
It does.
from the game become
But
paramount.
I think that's again when you watch the inside the NBA, like obviously those are highlights that they're talking about. You get lost in the conversation, and you get lost watching the highlight and hearing the conversation. Sometimes you're more focused on the conversation that you're hearing, the jokes
That's
that you're
cool,
cracking.
man. Check this out. So you make a very good point. If it gets to be week 16 or 17, I don't want to hear all the stories, man. If it gets to
I
be the
agree.
playoffs, I don't want to hear all the stories.
I
Man.
agree.
It's
not
cool
for
to
every
like
game.
week 12, 13. Oh man,
I think
about the time when you almost got into the bar with Brett Favre, and yeah, that's funny. In week 6, it's not in week 16.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And you want to hear the breakdown. But then again, on Monday night, what's Monday night has been lacking for the last year or two, oddly enough, is like
Personality and enthusiasm and
intriguing
ancillary
games.
stories.
Intriguing games, and just so very simply put, intriguing games.
True.
The games
that
haven't
as
been
well.
the games haven't been great, and to pull you in, and you're now there watching the game. So having this in there to bring to now this is raising the profile of Monday Night Football again. It's weird to say because you Monday Night Football, you're thinking the best teams, the best games are on Monday night, right? And that hasn't been the case. This is now raising that profile of the Monday Night Football game again, and you'll get that for 10 weeks. So yeah, you make some good points, but I thoroughly enjoy it. It's and I just have to relate it to Monday night to inside the NBA, where you will get lost in those conversations and not exactly watching the highlights until they point something specifically out, right?
Sure.
And that show, you cannot tell me that's not a compelling show. I mean that's the best show.
But it's not. But see, the difference is the show is not during the game. The show is showing
Fair
all
enough.
of the other games that are going on.
Fair enough.
If they were doing that in the middle of the game, it would get annoying.
Yeah.
And certainly once you got towards like, it's kind of like, let's really see
Crunch
what's
time.
up.
Yeah, crunch time. Yeah, you got a point. You got a point there. So on Sunday also, there's a quarterback who cracked the 600 touchdown mark. And I'm gonna leave it at there and say we can move on to the next segment.
Okay.
Let's go on. Let's go ahead there, fans.
Fans, that speaks volumes, by the way.
We're gonna leave that one right there.
Speaks volumes.
When we're looking at this week's results here, for some reason you picked the Dolphins to beat Atlanta. I don't know why. I don't know why you picked Denver to beat Cleveland. We both had Carolina over the Giants. And are you still right? How does Sam Darnold look to you now? How's Sam Darnold looking to you?
Not as good as he looked the first 3 games.
Yeah, because he was trashed then.
Cam, what has happened is that the league has more tape and they have figured him out.
The league knew about him already.
No. Well, then if they knew about him, how do you go 3-0?
Because he played some bums and he was on a new team.
Man,
he was in a new program, a new scheme. But when it comes down to it, he's the same old Sam.
Ask your Chargers dudes. Ask your Chargers dudes. You guys are tight, right? Staley and them guys. They refer to you by your first name, right? When talking to you, Cam.
You see,
ask them what happens.
Fans, that reeks of saltiness right there.
On somebody
that reeks of saltiness right there.
What they don't do well, and how long that takes. By week 6, you got enough tape.
Oh my goodness gracious! That just reeks of saltiness right there.
I'm just asking you to ask the coach that question. Again,
the Carolina loses to the Giants. We talked about the Bengals upsetting. I mean, impressive in impressive fashion. Impressive fashion.
That
They
paper
upset
chase.
the Ravens.
It was on that. They was on that paper chase, weren't they, Cam?
Oh my goodness, listen to you. And we had the Colts. The Colts. I had San Fran. You had Indy. Um, in the monsoon. I don't understand. San Francisco's an enigma, man. Like Shanahan, he can't wait to tell everybody how great the team is doing. We see they have talent, but they can't put it together. I mean, they can't put it together as a team. They have a couple injuries, okay, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a 49er fan, but I don't know. I expected them to be much better than what we've seen out of them 2-4 this season. I expected much. Yeah, I expected much more from them this year. So so we so I won the week 10-8 with our picks, straight up picks or picks against the spread, I should say. Um, excuse me, straight up picks. I won 10-8. Clevon picks against the spread. You beat me 2-1. So again, my picks against the spread is challenging, terrible.
Young Sam Rothstein has reared his ugly head this year. So
42% to 76%. This
mm.
is
Mm.
this is atrocious, man. It's terrible. However, overall pick segment, um, we're at a dead heat right now. 68.2%, or excuse me, what? Let me take that back. Cleveland is a nudge ahead, 69% to 69.2 to 68.2.
Okay,
Just a
1%.
smidgen, just a smidgen ahead right there.
Smidge.
Um, as for our confidence pick this week, this is pure dominance, pure dominance here by me. Pure, no.
What?
Yeah, you had Carolina. You picked Carolina. You had Carolina. You was confident that they were going to win. You lost that one. I had Baltimore. I was confident they were going to win. I lost that one. I had Green Bay, Arizona, Tampa Bay, and the Rams. You had Arizona, Tampa Bay, and New England. They all won. Yeah, but so we were 14-14. I mean, it was a tie. But for the overall, it's 93% to 83%.
Okay, that's cool. That's doable. That's real doable.
Yeah, well, I don't know how doable it is when somebody's
Oh,
in
no,
the
I'm coming
90s.
back.
When somebody's in the
I'm coming
90s,
back for that trophy as well. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not so
Mm-hmm.
sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a little break here, Clevon. When we come back, man, we're going to talk about some NBA stories. We're going to talk about Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard getting a little handsy on the sideline. What you thought? I want to get your breakdown of what we saw Friday night. We know Russell came back and led them to a victory, and I'm not sure what's happening tonight. I mean, they should have waxed OKC. I mean, so I don't even. We'll have to see what happened. But let's take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA and what's going on in the NBA. Let's take a little break right here. World Series is tied 1-1 right now.
Yeah, you got time for 45 seconds?
Go ahead.
Ready.
You good?
Good.
All right, fans. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Week 100, 162 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. It is October 27th. I want to thank you guys for tuning in once again. Give a shout out to my man Clevon for being patient with us through the season and his cooperation. Clevon, where can they find you on social media?
Absolutely, Cam. They can find me at Clevy Wander on Twitter and Clevon Steele on Instagram.
Yeah, make sure you hit him up when he makes some of these ridiculous statements that he does throughout the show.
Please call me on him whatever you think is ridiculous.
Also, you can find me, What's Good in Sport, on Twitter. That's What's Good, the letter N Sport, singular, on Twitter, or Voice of Fans on Instagram. I'm here for you. We take any feedback, comments, complaints, anything you got to say about the show. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, if you're not subscribed to the podcast already, please subscribe to the podcast, rate, review, and give us a comment. And we're looking for 5 stars. If you don't give it 5 stars, I'm wondering about you. Clevon, talk to us about Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard getting physical on the sidelines. What did you see? What was the reason for this little dust up? And how does that help you guys moving forward?
Oh, man, it was a little skirmish, just, some teammates, having a slight disagreement about things and the way they transpired. I mean, it's good for the team going forward because they were able to address the situation and address it in a way that, they feel comfortable going forward, that they're going to continue to strive and, gain towards the championship.
Were they able to address it? Because I didn't hear anything from I didn't even hear anything from Coach LeBron over there.
No. They both said they were straight. They both said it was straight. It was squashed.
But again, I didn't hear anything from Coach LeBron.
See, Cam, you're trying to let things linger. It's over. It's squashed. Snuffed out.
Snuffed out. So, might that have anything to do why LeBron didn't play last night against the Spurs?
Cam, LeBron is in his 27th season, and so load management is.
It's okay this season.
Part of,
all of a sudden, it's okay now.
May happen. Well, I mean, when you're in your 27th season, yeah, load management is part of it.
Oh,
when you're fourth, fifth season, not so much.
Oh, wow! All of a sudden, it's okay now. All of a sudden, load management's acceptable.
Well, I mean, it's situational, Cam, and LeBron is dedicated so much to this game. I mean, it's been such an ambassador for so long.
Oh my goodness gracious! So what? He can sit out when he wants to. He can sit on the sidelines.
Not what I'm saying. It's up to his body and how his body feels. There are. They have greater aspirations than just winning the 6th game of the NBA 2021-22 season. You know what I'm saying? So, if you take a little bit of time off here and there, if you're not feeling well, knowing that it's going to, it's going to be 100, 115 games that you got to play. I mean, I appreciate the Lakers looking out for him like that.
So such hypocritical. Somebody else load managed last season. They're all like, "Whoa, what is this kid doing?"
That is 27 years old. That was load managing. That dude was 27 years old, load managing, not 39.
such hypocritical. So, does Brooklyn have a reason to be concerned? Like, James Harden hasn't been the James Harden we typically are familiar with. KD's always doing his thing, as we know.
Right.
Blake Griffin, like if you have to count on Blake Griffin to be your low post defender and your low post scorer, I mean, I don't know what that says about your team at this stage of his career.
Well, Cam, that's interesting the way you jumped off the bandwagon right there. I mean, the way
jump off the bandwagon. I'm asking it.
It turned off at 2030. You just like jumped off like, oh yeah, it's good. Let's jump off right quick. I'm gonna talk about right here and let that thing continue on going on its own merry way. Because there ain't no Kyrie driving this thing. And who knows when that driver's gonna be back. And like you said, and now James Harden can't just kick out his leg and just fall down and get the foul no more.
Oh, wow.
That's changed his game dramatically.
Wow.
Now he has to be kind of a shooter. Yeah. You can't just
Do you have a problem?
and
Do
draw
you have a
foul.
concern? Do you have a concern with the way that he's going to be able to put the ball in the basket?
Oh, you should be concerned if you're a Brooklyn fan, yeah.
Well, we're not at all concerned. My question was, do you novice and we say modest fans have anything to be concerned about? Because true Brooklyn Nets fans and people that are predicting them to go to the NBA Finals, we know what it's going to be come the end of the season. But the season isn't starting off. I mean, you know everything about it when the season doesn't start off well. You know everything about that, right?
Yeah, I see where you were going with that, Cam. Yeah, the season has not started out well, but yeah, they're in trouble, man.
Oh my goodness, the trouble's a bit much.
But again, it is the Eastern Conference, so 4 or 5 is as far as they could possibly fall. So then it gets into really mediocre squads. So, and they're not mediocre, but yeah, they have some adjusting to do, and Kyrie is nowhere in sight. So he's not coming in.
They got Patty Mills. He's not okay. Kyrie. We know that. But
if that's the Kyrie substitute that you have, then great. Let's see what Patty Mills can do when it gets really crunch time.
We're gonna paint the floor. We're gonna paint the floor a different color, and make him think he's on an Olympic court right there.
Because Giannis don't play with his food, so.
Yeah, I mean that's Giannis. That's one guy. That's one guy to be concerned.
So I mean that's one of the teams you may have to come up against.
They're going to come up. They're going to come up
fairly early, given the the seeding that you're going to be in the East. If you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, I'm just saying, what do you follow on this, Cam? Are you a Nets fan? I know last year you had him going to the finals and sweeping through the playoffs undefeated.
I still got him going to the finals.
How do you feel about him?
Were they going to go undefeated?
NBA finals?
I still have them going to the finals. Yes.
Okay, cool. Even with all of what's going on, all the civil unrest over there in Brooklyn, good.
They're not sweeping their way to the finals. That's not going to happen this season.
But they'll be in the NBA finals.
They will be in the NBA finals in 2022. Yes.
You want to write that down?
Because the NBA,
Cam. I see the ticker going by. You want to write that down on the ticker?
I think it's
the Brooklyn Nets will be in the NBA Finals in 2022.
It's not on the ticker. Oh, no, let's see. What do we have? Mac Brown leads the Patriots.
Okay. No.
Over under 8 wins.
Can you fast forward to the Brooklyn Nets being in the NBA Finals in 2022?
I thought we already had this.
No, I had the Lakers winning the championship, and I'm still sticking by that. But I would like to see your input with regards to the Brooklyn Nets being in the finals. And then I want you to put something on it, Playboy, so everybody knows what's going on.
Brooklyn Nets will make the NBA Finals. What's that worth? What's that worth? That's an Ivers first. That's an Ivers happy hour.
Oh, you don't feel that confident about it, fans. Just so you know, we have a tier of confidence. We'll leave that, okay? We have a tier of things we don't really want to risk. Okay, Ivers is at the very bottom. Okay, and then we get up to the near platter meal. And then we get up to the Daniel Steak and Lobster. This dude put the Brooklyn Nets making the NBA Finals in the same category as you might put a 20-piece chicken McNuggets from McDonald's, man. Pretty much the same thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Which means that he's saying that he has confidence in him, but he really has zero confidence in him.
They gonna make the final.
Really zero confidence in the Brooklyn Nets.
We might have to up that.
And the reason, fans, is because he has no idea what Kyrie Irving is going to do. So he really has no way to really gauge where this team can really go.
I just told you. Patty Mills.
He's trying to gauge how far this team can go with Kevin Durant, Patty Mills running the point, and James Harden starting to realize he can't just kick his feet out and fall down and get a foul.
It's the first week of the season, man.
And Blake Griffin on his 17 torn tendons, trying to make a difference, an impact out there.
No, they got somebody else down there.
He doesn't feel confident about it. Don't get too hyped up about the little ticker going. But that's not confidence. That's just throwing something out there because you got to throw something out there.
Yeah, we will revisit that right now.
In 2022 in April, yeah, we'll do it again.
So you tell me, what's your confidence level in Russell Westbrook leading your team somewhere to the playoffs?
Figure it out. Stay healthy. Figure it out.
Stay healthy. Figure it out. See that? Yeah. That's a short. That's no confidence in your team right there. When you're talking about stay healthy, figure it out.
It's okay. It's early. Stay healthy, figure it out.
But he want to ride my coattail. He want to ride my back, talking about Brooklyn Nets not making the finals.
Oh no, I didn't rescind the Daniels meal if the Lakers don't win the championship. You just threw down some Hostess cupcakes and some Twinkies if Brooklyn gets to the finals. That's all. I'm saying.
Sixers, 76ers lose to the the New York Knicks. What do you think about the New York Knicks and the Sixers? Are the Sixers, is this Ben Simmons situation hurting more than it's helping? Considering he's an all-star talent that's not playing and they're not getting anything for it?
The Ben situation is hurting more than it is helping. I am not convinced that the New York Knicks are good.
New York Knicks was a 4 seed last year. You think they're going to slip? You don't think they'll be a 4 seed this season?
We'll see. Hard to say.
Okay, what about the Charlotte Hornets? What's your thoughts on the Charlotte Hornets? Are they a 4 or 5 seed, or are they in the play-in?
Right now, 6-7. We'll see if they stay healthy.
7's a play-in. So you got them hovering around.
Then quite possibly a play-in. Then yeah.
You got them hovering around the play-in, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll see how that works. What else caught your eye on this first week of NBA action?
The Chicago Bulls balling. That was kind of a surprise. I didn't expect that much from them, and here they are.
So the Bulls play the Knicks. Is it the Knicks or is it the Knicks on Friday or tomorrow? No, they play the Heat tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So that ought to be a good test of what's going on. The Bulls and the Heat, right?
Absolutely.
That ought to
be get tested.
That ought to be a good test. So we'll see what happens with the Bulls and NBA. What else you got going on? What else you on your mind in the NBA?
I like the fact that everyone is kind of recalibrated themselves. No one has kind of put themselves out, as a favorite so far in either conference. I do like the response that Phoenix had. I'm a little bit curious as to why. I shouldn't say curious. It's just kind of disappointing that Phoenix did not give DeAndre Ayton that extension. So that in and of itself makes it curious as to where he might land next year and what that team might do. Usually when you have a talent like that, you lock them up, and that's that.
He'll be able to they'll be able to match any offer. As I understand it, they'll be able to match any offer that's given to him. But my thing is that if you're going to match an offer that somebody else makes to him, why don't you just go ahead and sign him?
That in and of itself lets you know that they're not going to match any offer. So, I mean, once the offer gets too big, you already had the opportunity to sign him for much less than anyone else could sign him for. And once they go above and beyond that, you're not going to match that. And I'm sorry, I am remiss. Zion and the way in not playing and just the whole way that the league has effed off that talent. Adam Silver with the cold envelope. I told you this years ago, man. Years ago, man. Do not let him go to some other team other than New York. He wants to play in New York. He will be motivated to play in New York. You let him go to New Orleans and just, hurricanes and jambalaya and catfish and just no curfew. That dude is 300 pounds.
Oh my goodness! What's the difference in New York? That same food is available in New York.
No, man, it's not just in abundance. It's not just culture. It's not just every day. It's not a city. I mean, yes, New York is a city that doesn't sleep in a whole other way than New Orleans, man. You've been to New Orleans. You already know, man. It will lull you to sleep. You will just always be in perpetual just drink and eat mode, and that's where he's at apparently.
And so you don't think? Oh my goodness! And that's where he's going to stay. He can't do anything about that. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm hoping that he has an opportunity to leave because New Orleans is not the best place for Zion Williamson, clearly.
But you would want him on your squad right now?
You would absolutely want him on your squad if your squad had a chance to do something and he was motivated. You would see Zion Williams out. Excuse me. You would see Zion Williamson out.
So the motivation, doesn't the motivation have to come from within?
No, that organization sucks. It sucked his entire career there. They started out only, you can only play 20 minutes. You only play 20 games. And you only do this. And then you change, and you bring Stan Van Gundy in to change it around. It's like, no. You wasted that talent.
So they can't get it back, is what you're saying.
He's unmotivated. I mean, clearly he's unmotivated, right? He's only like 22 years old, so it's like weird that you're not motivated, right? But he's unmotivated.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's crazy. That was a good call right there. Whether it is you're not motivated from a team aspect, you're not motivated from a personal aspect. I don't think him going to New York City, and nothing else changing is an issue though. Like that's an interpersonal issue. You have to want to change.
No, if he went to New York, he'd be Superman. You know that, man. He's always wanted to go there. He said it from the first time he stepped on Madison Square Garden. That's where he wanted to be. If the basketball gods would allow it, man.
So be it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a little break here, man. When we come back, we're gonna do this week in history. We got all sports history this week, and then we're gonna wrap it up with some Kraken news. And I want to know about your Seahawks. If Russell's going to be gone, who should you guys be targeting? See if you have an answer for me about that. Or who would you like to see? Or do you want to keep Geno? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you want to keep Geno. Who knows? We'll talk about it now. But let's take a little break here. And when we come back, we got some random topics in this week in history. I mean, Geno might be the guy, huh? He might win it over by this time, huh? Is there still talk about Rolovich up there? Washington State?
I mean, not really. I mean, just talk that he's talking. But I mean,
he's trying to explain himself now.
no, he's just like acting all irate, like he can't believe this is happening. It's like, come on, man. This is not Mississippi, dude. You can't just do what you want. I mean, you've been saying this for a while. You never explained why you're not getting a shot, man. So, yeah. All you're gonna sue, and this person is slanderous, and yeah, come on, man. Would work a lot better in Mississippi, have a much stronger case.
Oh, right.
What is this season-ending surgery for? Hold up.
That's an alert for who? Did you see the email I sent you with the Seahawks media stuff?
I saw it, but I assumed that we weren't gonna get it, so I didn't see what that was. I was just looking at JJ Watt being out for the season again.
Oh, another elbow injury?
Something.
Another. He only played 6 years for the Cardinals. No, but so if you click
Shoulder surgery.
If you click on the there's a password, there's a login and password in that email I sent you. And if you go ahead and log in to the media guide, you should be able to get access to the pre and post coaches interviews, Carroll's interviews. When the players go up to the podium, you can get that, all their media day stuff. So you can get their injury reports. You can get all their injury shit if you go ahead and log on to that website.
So I get a pass and go to all those meetings?
No. You'll just get the results of everything. You follow me?
How's that any different than listening to the broadcast on the radio or online?
Because how is that different than listening? Well, number one, you have to go find it, and you have to wait for them to play it for you. No, you can log into the website and go get it.
We're 12s around here, man. Come on, man.
What? What do you mean?
That's all they do, man. Is broadcast it. Well, I mean, we'll get back to that. Let's finish this show up, man.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, fans. Once again, Voice of the Fans, week 162. This segment here, we're going to talk about this week in history. And when we look at this week, it's all sports history this week. We're going to make it easy. 1995, October 27th. The contract that finalized Cleveland Browns moving to Baltimore was signed in secret on this day, 1995. When they moved, the Browns moved out of town, which was odd. In 1996, Bud Adams, owner of the Houston Oilers, announced that he would allow his team to play one more final season.
Just moving them
in Houston before they moved to Nashville.
Just moving them.
One of my favorite receivers of all time. In 1996, Irvin Fryer, then of the Philadelphia Eagles, became the 15th player in NFL history to catch 600 passes in his career. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but only 15 players have done that at the time. Also, we got two things in 2002. The Anaheim Angels, before they came the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, won their first World Series. They beat the San Francisco Giants in Game 7 of the series. But they won a championship, and that might be the least recognized championship the city of Los Angeles has been awarded. I think the Sparks get more love than when they won their championship in the 90s. Leslie won her championships than the Angels get for winning their championship. I'm real deal. Because you don't hear anything about the Angels here in Los Angeles. Anything.
Even with Shohei and Mike Trout?
Nothing.
Mm.
Nothing. I mean, you have to search. You have to search for it. I'll put it like that.
Mm.
It's you have to search for it. I don't know if you remember this. I was actually on my way to this game here. Monday Night Football game between the San Diego Chargers and the Miami Dolphins was moved to Tempe, Arizona, because of the San Diego wildfires. I was actually literally in the car on my way to the game when I heard that. Like what? What the? That was the Monday Night Football game. And then lastly, Dallas Cowboy running back became the all-time leading rusher. While he extended his career yardage to 16,743, he achieved this record in his 193rd game and scored his 150th touchdown. Just to give context to the dude who threw for 600 touchdowns, the all-time leading rusher in the NFL rushed for 150 touchdowns. Like, that's amazing. That is amazing that the dude has 600 touchdowns. Like, that's really amazing. And that running back, as we all know, or you should know, that is Mr. Emmitt Smith. So, Clevon, I got a serious question for you. What is John Snyder, Pete Carroll? I mean, who returns? Does Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson return next year?
Pete Carroll.
You'd rather have Pete return than Russell return?
That's not what I would rather have. You ask the question, who's returning? It would be Pete Carroll.
Ah, boy. So who's going to be your quarterback next season? Are you guys going to roll with Geno Smith? Are you guys going to go?
Far too early to tell, Cam.
Go get Sam Darnold?
It's far too early to tell, and given that we have given our number one pick to the New York Jets, yeah, can't say who's going to be the quarterback. Maybe Aaron Rodgers. He's available.
Aaron Rodgers. You think he want to leave Green Bay and go to Seattle?
Loves it up here. Loves it up here.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
He absolutely loves it up here. And him and DK. I don't know if you guys. I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to say too much.
Him and DK what?
I don't want to say too much.
Well, they did a perfume commercial or a cologne commercial.
I don't want to say too much, Cam.
WSU fires Nick Rolovich, and he says, I'm going to sue the state and the university because I lost my job because I didn't get vaccinated. Does he have a case?
No case. Absolutely zero. I mean, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I mean, a lot of, pontificating and, kind of poking your chest out, but no claims to sue the state of Washington because they fired you for not adhering to state of Washington rules.
Yeah, pretty much. What's the word on the Seattle Kraken up there?
Love them. They're great. I still haven't got my traffic study that I'm looking for to see how people get down there and where they go and where they park and all that. But the Kraken in and of themselves, yeah, they're exciting, man.
Are they on 3 channels up there or just one?
At least 2, depending on who they're playing. At least 2.
Okay. Looking towards our predictions, well, who do you have the World Series? Excuse me. We know the World Series is tied up now 1-1. Who's going to win the World Series?
Got to pull for my guy Dusty Baker, man. See if he can really actually, make this happen. Don't have a lot of affinity for the Atlanta Braves, and am kind of surprised that they've gotten this far without Ronald Acuna Jr. in the middle of their lineup. So,
yeah, you mentioned that
they kind of come to the end of the road when they play Houston, but we'll see.
Okay, and so looking at this week's slate of games, Clevon, we agree. I'm gonna just read down the games that we don't agree on. We don't agree. I have Arizona beating Green Bay. You got Green Bay beating Arizona.
No, I do not.
No, I'm sorry. Wait, I have Green Bay beating Arizona.
Okay.
You have Arizona beating Green Bay.
Okay.
I apologize.
Stay with that.
How do I have Carolina? Yeah, I got Carolina beating the Falcons. You have the Falcons beating Carolina.
Yes.
I mean,
With Calvin Ridley and what's that other that tight end that they've been working out at the rookie
Pitts,
and stuff.
Kyle Pitts.
What's his name?
Pitts.
Okay. Yeah. Catch few. Win that game.
You have Denver beating the football team.
That's a tough one, but that Alabama receiver's coming back, so we'll see what he can do.
Okay. Picks against the spread. I got Buffalo minus the 13.5.
Yeah.
I got Green Bay plus the 6.5.
Oh.
And Washington.
Whoa. Rewind that one.
Yo.
You got Green Bay what?
Green Bay minus.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Excuse me. Green Bay. Arizona's favorite to win that game.
Whoa.
Arizona's favorite.
Come on, man.
What?
It is. I know you're not getting 6.5 points, man. Cut that out.
They are. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. That's why I jumped all over it. Take a look at it. Yeah, you got it wrong on your sheet, bro. Let me double check.
3.5.
Let me double check right here. I'm gonna send this to you right now. What I'm looking at. I don't know where you got 3.5.
I don't know what you think you're sending me. It does not say 6.5 points.
Go ahead, bub. Go ahead, buddy. Green Bay. Cardinals minus 6.5. I'm all over that Green Bay. I'm all over that Green Bay right there. I'm all over it. Look at it. I just sent it to you. Yahoo.com. Go to Yahoo on your computer. 6.5 points. I'm all over it. And then Washington Washington plus 3. The football team plus 3 over the Broncos. Yeah. And you got Tennessee, Arizona. Now, you want the Arizona minus 6.5 or what you want to do?
Bro, your 6.5, man, is a fictitious number.
I just sent it to you.
Who you sent to me?
Just now.
Where?
I texted to you. Yeah. Pull that bat phone out. Green Bay, the Cardinals minus 6.5. That's what mine say. Do you see that? Oh, yeah, that's right. You still got the Cardinals in 6.5?
No, man. No, I had them at 3.5 when it started at.
Nah, it didn't go up that high, bro.
Okay.
It didn't go up that high. I already changed
let me look at your thing that you sent me, and let's just see what they was looking at then.
The thing I sent you says Arizona minus 6.5. And I have you actually down for Arizona minus 3.5. So you want to give me a different pick? You want to change that?
Give me the wrong thing. You sent me the wrong one. Hold on.
Yeah, I sent you the wrong one.
It says that. I don't believe that, man.
I sent it to you on Yahoo. You got Yahoo. Go to yahoo.com. You already have it, big guy. What are you telling you? I don't believe that.
It's pretty ridiculous. But you know what? Just out of spite, I'm going to take it.
You're going to take Arizona?
Just out of spite. I'm gonna take Arizona -6.5.
I don't care what the reason is. I don't
Yeah,
care.
well, that's it's not for you, it's for the fans, Cam. So everyone understands my rationale. It's out of spite. They still gonna beat them by a touchdown. Green Bay, yeah.
All of a sudden, this is funny. How all of a sudden this whole energy towards lowly old little Cardinals changes. This is comical. The little Cardinals got him changing his mind. Where am I at right here? That's not it. There we go. So okay, made the change. That change has been made. And then you got Detroit minus. You got Detroit plus 3.5. You feeling that they turning that corner one way or another? Huh? You got them against the Eagles. You feel they're gonna turn
It's
that
gotta
corner?
happen eventually, right? They just play too hard, man. I mean, they're in every game, right?
For the our confidence picks, I got Cincinnati, Tennessee, Dallas, Tampa Bay, and Buffalo. You have LAC, KC.
No, man, go the other direction, man. Come from the top down.
What do you mean? That is good. That's going from the bottom up. You got
Right. You go from the bottom up. I said come from the top down.
You got Buffalo, the Rams, Cincinnati, KC, and the Chargers.
Okay. You didn't have the Chargers on your stuff, huh?
No, I didn't have the Chargers.
You did have them on there?
I did not. I got Cincinnati.
Oh, you didn't have the Chargers on your stuff.
I did not. No.
Can
but
you
I
start
did.
your interview with Coach Staley saying, on my podcast, we have a confidence segment of the show, and I didn't have you on my confidence segment because I just don't feel confident you can beat Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots that don't have a winning record.
No, there was other teams I have more confidence.
Oh, for real?
How about that? Yeah.
Well, explain that. The way the schedule broke out, I just had more confidence in those other teams getting a victory.
Yeah, that's an easy discussion. That's an easy discussion. Hey, check it out. So,
fans, I had the Chargers on my list coming off of that embarrassing loss, licking their wounds. I figured that they had enough time with that culture over there to get it together and get a victory. Cam didn't feel the same way on October the 22nd.
Hey, Clevon just trying to start stuff, fans. Don't fall for this crap.
What am I starting?
He's just trying to start.
You don't got him on your list.
I don't.
There were plenty of other teams I just felt more confident
exactly.
And not the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, we have to see what they can do.
No, we don't got to see. We know what they're gonna do. We know they're gonna win. I just have more confidence in Cincinnati and these different matchups. Dallas, Tampa Bay, Buffalo. We have more confidence there.
Go in there in the locker room and say that then.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I'll make you a shirt and send it to you.
I'm gonna go talk to Belichick. I'm gonna say, Belichick, what's good? what's good? Why don't you tell me what you see at that other division rival in those cases? I'm gonna ask Bill Belichick about his former counterpart or his former mentee. What do you think about Brian Flores and what's going on down there?
Man, Cam, it's too late, man.
And watch
your wish-wash with the Chargers, man. It's just been so embarrassing, man.
Wish-wash? It ain't no wish-wash.
Cam, you went jumping off the cliff like a cliff diver, man.
What are you talking? Jump off of what cliff? Right there, Chargers.
The cliff into the Chargers, like the beautiful abyss. Like, oh man, these guys, man, you better start paying attention. You better watch out. You ain't paying attention to what the Chargers doing.
They're 4-2.
They lost a game to the Ravens, man, and you just lost their number, man. You took their number. You know what you do with their number, Cam? You were just like this, like, oh.
I was there today. I
And
was
just
there.
threw their number away. I mean, you still acting like you're gonna call him.
No, I'm gonna go see him tomorrow.
You're not confident. I know,
I'm gonna go see him.
but you don't mean it.
Oh wow!
And the Chargers know you don't mean it.
Fans, he's just trying to start
Whether
stuff.
you
That's
think
it.
so or not,
That's
you're
it
doing
right
the
now.
interviews.
That's it right now.
They saw the enthusiasm right in your
just trying
face
to
and
start
stuff,
some
right?
stuff.
When you were like,
don't fall for
writing
this.
about them,
Fans,
don't sleep on these guys. They're about to go to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just letting you know.
Fans do not fall for anything.
And now fans, it comes back like, hey, what's up, Herbert?
Listen to
I just want to know, man, like when you were throwing on that 3rd and 4, I mean, like, you know.
The fans, don't fall for any of this mess. I'm there twice a week to talk to these guys. This week we're gonna have a little conversation with
fans. He
with
talks to them, but what he doesn't understand, fans, is that the glow that he had in his face 2 weeks ago, he doesn't have it anymore. And when he's asking these questions, they will be able to see that he doesn't have that glow, and they won't answer the questions the same way.
Fans, don't listen to Clevon. Clevon is trying to put so much stink in the game.
No, he knows.
He's trying to put so much stink in the game.
The players know it's week 7, week 8. Their bodies are beat. They're weary. You know, they're relying on themselves.
They're coming off a bye week.
That's all we got. You know, we're all we got. And then, one of their dudes that they thought was their dude, and he comes in with comes in with that look. They pick right up on it, fans. They just don't feel the same about him.
He's trying to start some stuff. Don't fall for this mess.
And the interviews won't go the same way. They look at him like, oh.
Don't fall for this mess.
You got the glow no more, show enough.
Oh, boy. Listen to this guy. We move right along here.
And fans, can we get into the show enough? Out of the show. He's been reluctant. He didn't want to come with that. He wanted to kind of wrap it up like you thought I forgot.
This guy, he's on one now. Oh boy. So we're going to get there.
I forgot about that, huh?
Our $100,000 pick for the week. I was confident 2 teams to Atlanta and Tennessee, $50,000 apiece to win me another $100,000.
Okay.
This guy's only picking one team a week. He picked Arizona. I need your picks by tomorrow. Who you got? Who you want to put $100K on? Is it 1, 2, or 3 teams, or are you putting $100K on for tomorrow?
Oh,
I need your pick so I can go ahead and log that in. The supremacy rankings, did mine change from last week?
Should have.
So here's my supremacy rankings. I think I had your change in here as well. But here's my I have yours updated. Okay. So here's we both had the Cardinals at number 1. I have the Packers at number 2. You have the Bucks at number 2. I have the Rams at number 3. You got the Packers at number 3. I have the Buccaneers at number 4. You have the Cowboys at number 4. I have the Titans at number 5. You have the Rams at number 5. So this week, compared to last week, who was in here? Who didn't you have in your thing last week? Last week, you didn't have any Rams. Was not in your top 5 last week. That's the only team. You traded your Ravens for Rams. That's essentially what you did, a little moving around up top. Me, on the other hand, thinking completely objectively, I had my first 2 did not change. I had the Ravens at number 3. They dropped out. The Rams move up. The Buccaneers move up. And the Titans, because they waited to put it down, they moved up. So that clearly makes more.
Ryan Tannehill and them.
Oh wow!
And King Henry. I mean, King Henry is a beast. I know from a fantasy football perspective,
Oh
if
my
I
God.
had the opportunity to draft someone with that type of running back pedigree with the number 2 pick, I would probably be inclined to take him.
Look, you know what? You probably sent it. That's your guy, huh? Isn't that Chester
That's your
from
guy. That's your dude.
Texas?
No,
You
that's your
probably the
dude.
one had him
Nope.
sign up
That
and
is your
distract
dude.
me. Hey,
Nope.
call him 7 minutes right before the draft go
Nope,
live
that's your dude.
and distract
I,
him.
I don't I don't know how you get so distracted that you can't decide that after Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry is the next best back in fantasy football. I don't know what type of distraction you're talking about, but it sounds hilarious. You try to use all that type of, oh man, I was distracted and stuff. Man, I couldn't get my picks in.
Man, I could not
Man,
pick him.
Christian McCaffrey went number 1. Fans, who should the number 2 pick be?
Oh my goodness. I
Is there
could
some
not
type of suspense
get
or
him in the
mystery to
queue.
this?
I could not get him in the queue to draft him.
But after week 8, there is no more suspense or mystery as to who the pick should have been, right?
Man.
Who the correct pick would have been. And
Man.
let the fans know what happened last week.
Clevon is on a roll. Clevon is on a roll. He barely beat me this week by like 12 points. But he's on a roll. A win is a win is a
With
win.
3 of my starters on bye.
Oh
Yes.
my God. A win is a win is a win. I'll give him that. Clevon, I think, what is his record now? I hate even to say this. I hate to. You know what? I'm not saying it. Cleveland's leading the league. All right, I'm leaving it right there. But I got a serious kick. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Right? It's how you finish. So
And you would finish a lot further if you had Derrick Henry running the ball for your team.
He who laughs last laughs best. Okay. He who laughs last laughs best. Okay. So I'm gonna finish strong. I'm not worried about that. You go ahead, key.
Confidence carries you a long way, Cam. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I got a lot to go before the season is over, and you're gonna realize who's who before it's all said and done. You're gonna realize who's who before it's all said and done, and why. I mean, what makes me so tough to beat? You're gonna realize that. So don't even trip on that.
Okay.
I got something for you. I got something for you in the rest of the league. I'm gonna end it here with this quote here. I just lost it.
Can I help you out, Cam?
What's that?
Okay. When you don't draft Derrick Henry with the number 2 pick in the draft, don't be surprised when bad things happen to your fantasy football team.
Listen to you. This guy. He loves it. Here's the quote I was having. Obstacles are what you see when you take off your eye off. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Stay focused. Don't take your eyes off the goal. I just talking about what's going to happen in the Voice of the Fans Fantasy League. I got 8 weeks to rebound.
And Travis Homer is still available. Travis Homer is still available.
That's who you're going with. That's who's running the ball for you all now.
I'm just throwing opportunities out there for you, Cam.
No, now
Travis Homer can run the ball for you.
Now he wants to help out. This guy is something else.
Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I mean, I'm not sure.
This guy is something else. I mean, he gets one W. He gets one W. Well, he's stringing together a couple W's. I'll give him that. But he's really full of himself right now, fans. Really full of himself. I'm gonna tell you the way this league is shaping up right now.
Do you have Joshua Kelly on your squad, Cam?
No, why would I have Joshua Kelly on the squad?
I mean,
No, what? What are you trying to do? You trying to sabotage the league or what?
I mean, he's one of your Chargers, right? He's got to get some carries. Might give you some points here or there.
No, he's not getting enough points. He's not getting enough points. So,
Okay.
um, Joshua Kelly, wow, he went deep. Um, let me see managers. Where's the overview? I'm looking for the league for the records.
Oh, I'm 6-1, 7-1, Cam. I mean, you know how I do.
Yeah, this is the best in 5 years of you playing fantasy football.
Okay, well, I mean,
This
you
is the
keep
best you've
you
done.
keep backtracking, going to previous years, man. We're talking about the 2021 season here.
Oh, that's all you want to focus on. That's all you want to
Yeah, the
focus on.
present, the present, and the future. I mean, the past is the past.
Yeah, it figures you say something like that.
Figured
It
you say
figures.
something like that when you're 2-9 or whatever. What's your record?
See how he does. Clevon is leading the league at what is he? Young Sam. I can't even find Young Sam 6-1, first in the league right there.
Nice.
The closest behind him is 5-2 NWA. Who keep we're gonna have to get a we're gonna have to get the live show streaming back up. This guy is
Sure.
trying to make the most ridiculous trades with me. He's trying to make the most ridiculous trades. I don't know. I give him credit for being active, but his trades are off the charts. Yeah, I can't finish ninth in the league. I mean, that
Nine,
can't
9 out of 10.
that can't help it. That can't happen. I can't finish ninth in the league, so I know there's going to be a change is going to come. I know that a change is going to come because I can't finish ninth in the league, and you're not safe. You're not safe at 6-1. Just to let you know, you're not safe. Okay.
Why am I not safe? I just got through this last week with none of my starters in the game.
What do you mean? Why are you not safe? Tell you what, because you're playing. Who would you playing? You
Well, I
got
was
Michael.
playing you last week with
You
my
was
starting quarterback, running back, and
Eli-
receiver, and,
Elijah
and, and beat you
Elijah
today.
Pittman. How did you pick up CJ Uzomah? Uzomah.
Well,
Who, who,
I'm a
who,
studier of the NFL,
who
Cam.
told you about
I
him?
knew what I was doing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. You got Brandon Cooks on your team. You didn't even know who Jamal Williams was until I told you about him at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
You
Okay.
didn't even know about that.
Okay.
So you going with Teddy and Dak, huh?
I mean, I beat
Dak.
you. I beat you, right? I'm 7-1, right?
You beat me by I think it was like 8 points, 8 or 9 points.
Without my starting quarterback, running back, and receiver.
8 or 9 points, man. I mean, I wouldn't go to the bank with that. That's what I have to say. I wouldn't go to the bank with that. All right, we still got a good chunk of the season left. Don't get too comfortable. That's all I got to
I
say.
just want my Wimbledon trophy when it's all said and done. That's all I want.
Don't get too.
And my
You know.
cash
You know.
that you should be having in escrow, right? It's earning interest.
You know what? Speaking of trophies, did you see the ring for the Milwaukee Bucks? Did you see their ring?
I didn't see it. Was it gaudy?
It is pretty gaudy, but what's dope about it is you could take the top of it off and you can wear it as a pendant around a chain. Like, so you know how rings are huge. Oh, he don't like that one. Seriously, you could take the top of it off, like the crown, I guess you would call it. You could take that off that says Milwaukee Bucks and has Antetokounmpo's name in diamonds all around it. You could take that off and wear it as a pendant. Like that's pretty dope. I thought that was pretty dope. Not that you'll be wearing anything like that, but I thought that was pretty dope. But we're gonna have something done. I got to get to work on this, and then I can't have a trophy out there that I'm not able to compete for. So that's why you better be careful, and you better make sure every transaction is tight. Like Uzuma, I don't know who told you about Uzuma, but that was a good pickup. Don't count on that working again for you for the rest of the year. Okay.
Oh, okay, because that Cincinnati offense is not potent at all.
No. All of a sudden now you like JB. That's funny. Like all of a sudden how you like certain players. All of a sudden,
all of a sudden, I've been
That's what I
telling
said.
you all season long, man. I am sorry that I listened to everybody talking about the paper chase like that, man. And when they said he couldn't catch nothing, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to draft that dude. He can't catch nothing.
Yeah, man. You see what he did. You
And
see
his
what-
explanation for why he couldn't catch nothing was the stripes on the football. Like, oh,
Yeah, he
I'm a
didn't.
little hesitant, but he figured all that out. And plus, JB throws a nice ball, so he just drops it right into him. It's cool. It's cool.
Exactly why exactly why you invest in a
Which
quarterback.
is exactly why maybe the Dolphins should have drafted him instead of Jalen Waddle. I don't know.
I'm not talking about draft picks. I'm not talking about draft picks.
You don't want to talk about draft picks. You got on
me. No, you got on me for talking about draft picks 2 weeks ago. You said stop talking
about draft picks. Talk about draft picks. You want to talk about draft picks?
Man.
It's one pick.
All right.
One pick. You could have had the paper chase. He went with the other cat.
Yeah. On that note, we're out of here, fans. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in to Voice of the Fans podcast. Listen, however you're listening, wherever you are when you're listening, we thank you. We appreciate Clevon for chiming in. Clevon, let the people know where they can find you.
At Clevon Wonder on Twitter, Clevon Steele on Instagram.
And this is your man, Cam. You can find me, What's Good in Sport, on Twitter. That's What's Good, the letter N, Sport, singular. And also Voice of Fans on Instagram. Go ahead, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of the show. Also, if you've not found us on iTunes, Apple Radio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, find us, subscribe to us, and give us all the stars you can, and then leave us a comment. Appreciate your time, fans. Have a good one, and let's enjoy the football weekend. Talk to you soon, Clevon. Talk to you soon. Later.